Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty, perfect. So generally how I like to start off the meeting is to kind of give a background on the role I'll be playing and introduce myself. So generally I'll just introduce myself and then, I have you as a partner introduce myself. So my name is Conrad Thomas. I'll be playing the role of Patrick Lowe, the CEO and owner of CANAAN.
Okay. And I am Joseph Russo, the CEO of the Cash Creek. I'm usually deal with the real estate.
Hmm.
I am excited about the opportunity that brings challenge and potential transformation. And uh, we invested $6 million dollar in this project in 2016 with the help of the Canadian
The
federal
government,
government.
right?
And to add the connection to the CP mainland, increase rail car storage facility, uh, add new transload facility and support. So your recent pilot project is impressed me. So I am very much uh, enthusiasm for the negotiation.
Absolutely. So I'll just go ahead and get into I'll give you guys some background of the company and I'll go into some things as to why I feel like it would benefit us to create a partnership. And yeah, we'll decide off of that. So yeah, I did do a good amount of research on your company as well, Mr. Russo, and I gotta say I'm very impressed with, your 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 mindset, your business mindset, and how well you've been able to kind of shape your company, coming along. And I would like to add to that, just a bit of background about myself and Canon. Canon was founded back in 1981 by my father, Mr. Paul Lowe. My name is Patrick Lowe, if you don't know. And we are one of the largest freight leading companies in Canada currently. Now, what does that mean? That means that we're pretty good at what we do. We've been doing it for quite some time. I'd say roughly 35 years. And during that time, we've been able to amass a ton of relationships. We've been able to create a ton of, innovative strategies. And overall, we've just been a giant at what we do. We are a 3PLs company, meaning we offer more than the typical logistics company will offer, meaning we offer different forms of shipping, we offer, warehousing, and we offer distribution. So we're kind of a one-stop shop, so to say, if you were to, think of the things we are. Our main office is currently located in Richmond, British Columbia, but we do have other offices in Calgary. We have another one in Toronto, Montreal, and lastly in Los Angeles. I feel like we are a Canada-based company, but we do import and export from all over the world. So I feel that these locations that we do have are very prime locations for, our business and for us to conduct everything properly. Now, I'll get down to my proposal. So I'm aware that you guys are located on a 220 acreage that is privately owned by the company. I'm also aware that you yourself made this investment back in 2004. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with that. I see the potential in what we can create and, get from this partnership. Um, and I've done some numbers, I've crunched some numbers, and I noticed that you guys are roughly 340 kilometers away from the Vancouver area. Specifically, you aren't too far from the port of Metro Vancouver, which is the issue we're trying to face today. So with that, let's get into some background of like the port and kind of where I'm trying to come from with this. So the Port of Vancouver, it's a pretty large port. It's one of the
Yes.
world's most largest. It's actually one of the largest in North America currently.
Mhm.
Maybe I believe the third largest. And with being the largest, you see a lot of different things. Now, I myself I would like to consider myself an environmentalist, meaning I care about the environment. I'm looking to create a green future. And with that, I see a few things going on at the port. There's a lot of trucks coming in, there's a lot of ships coming in, there's a lot of trains coming in. With that, there's a lot of, CO2 emissions from natural gas or coal burning. So what I want to kind of do is eliminate that, or at least not eliminate it totally, because I know it's kind of impossible to do that, but at least minimize it to a point where it almost feels as though the issue has been eliminated. And how I propose to do that is to use the rail connection you guys created back in 2014 with CP Rail Services. Now, what I want
Yes.
to do with that is pretty much from what I know about the CO2 emissions of the railway, it is about 85% less than those of using trucks. And I'm no fan of using trucks myself, just simply due to the CO2 emissions as well as the incurred fees that come with it. Generally, with what we do as a company and how much we offer as a company, there's a lot of overhead costs, I would like to say, and I'm looking to eliminate those costs and potentially put a bit of the money that I've offset from using your rail line back into your guys' pockets. That way, it's kind of a win-win situation for us all. You help us out, and in turn, we kind of help you out with paying you guys. What I'm looking to do is rent about 3 to 4 acres on your property. And I know we've, discussed some things, shot some emails to one another maybe a while ago. And, you proposed about $1,000 a month per acre, which I believe is a very fair deal. So you guys are looking around netting, roughly $5,000 a month from us, just off of us using your acreage. You are using a few of it, right? Um, what I kind of want to do as well is propose a two-phase project where Cannon and Cash Creek we will come together and we give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I have to gather my thoughts. We will come together and we will kind of 1 second. Yeah, that's what it is. So we would come together, we kind of create a lease of things.
Mhm.
So I want to start with a short-term lease and potentially get to a long-term lease within phase 2. But I feel as though it's important for us to do things in the first phase first so that we can kind of make sure everything is gonna go exactly how I hypothesize it going. I've run a pilot run of this before, and
Mhm.
I've incurred some costs. I've went over some numbers, and things went very smoothly in the pilot. So I don't see why it wouldn't go smoothly in the first phase and then lead us on to the second phase. So let me get down to it. In phase 1, I want to create a short-term lease where you and I can sort of I'll pay you guys the $5,000 a month to use your property, the storage facility, the transload and things like that to offset cost of using trucks. But since I'll be, taking all the risk and making all the upfront payments, I only want to propose, just paying you guys the rent for now. I know we discussed things and you guys are looking for some royalties, and that's very understandable and it's very doable. But I
Yes.
believe it isn't doable as of right now. I believe what we need to do is just kind of get the operation up and running, and then we'll be able to, within phase 2, we'll be able to start giving you guys some royalties from, all of those shipments and things like that. I've been talking for a long time, so I'll let you take over
Okay.
for.
Now come to the negotiation point. First, talk about the lease term. You are preferring the short-term lease?
Yes. Well, so I'm proposing 2 leases, one a
Yes.
short term and one a long term. Now,
Yes.
the reason I'm doing it, the reason I want to do it this way is because I feel it's very important for us to at least get the operation up and running. Because
Mhm.
things. they can go well in the pilot and they can go well in my in my mind and that as I hypothesize them. But when you
Yes.
actually get down to doing them, that it's a matter of if how feasible is it and how well will it work in the long run. So if it works well, I want to go ahead and push through the phase two, which is creating a long-term lease where we still pay you guys, monthly. Of course, that's a given, but we also, sweeten the deal by adding some royalties. So every shipment we get, you guys get a piece of that.
But we prefer the long-term lease, and I think we can see this operation for the 5 years, and after 5 years, we can check, review our term again. It will be workable for me. At least 20 years lease.
So you're saying that you don't want to do the short-term lease.
Yes.
Okay, so
But after five
what
years, we can review all our terms and conditions. If you want to review any terms and conditions like royalty fee, rent fee, then we can change after the 5 years.
All right, so you're looking for a pretty well, 5 years is pretty much a kind of like a short-term lease because usually when you're
Yes.
doing business with large companies, they roughly do 20 to 25 years as a long-term lease. Um, what are you looking to receive out of, you know, the lease and things like that? Because I know I presented a lot of things to you guys, but what are you looking to get out of it for your company? And again, we bring 35 years of experience with this. We have, tons of connections. We have tons of innovative strategies and things like that. So we are a giant within our own right in the logistics industry.
Main reason we don't have any experience on the logistic, but we
Mhm.
believe you. That's why we are here. So you are not agree with the 20 years lease term?
I'm interested in it. I'm very interested in doing it. The only issue with that is for 20 years, my company would incur a ton of the risk, meaning we would incur a ton of, the financial risk, the risk of, losing shipments and things like that. And you guys wouldn't be held at fault,
Okay,
which
okay. Can you make it 15 years?
term for 15 years,
Yes.
that's still a pretty long-term lease. What I'm looking to get into is at least about, maybe 5 to 7 years for right now. And then we work our way to, upwards of 20
Five
years,
is
maybe
great.
30 years. Because
I
I
think
see the potential.
I think
Excuse me.
okay, we can go for the 10 years lease term. I think it is beneficial for both of us.
You said which year lease term? I'm
10
sorry.
years?
10 years.
Yes.
Okay, that's still a pretty long time. It's not like too long. It's somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
Um, but if we can get that down to maybe 6, 7 years, that'll work perfectly. Because again, I'm trying to mitigate risk. That's the reason I called this meeting and I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm trying to, mitigate the risk that comes with, you know, being a 3PL company where we offer so much to our clients and customers. So we're trying to mitigate that. And we're also trying to help you guys out in this in that same instance, you know. You help us out, we help you out, you know.
Sure.
So how's that sound? How do you want to kind of move forward?
I think 10 years will be the fair for us because you are
10
already agree on the 7 years, so 3 years is not a matter.
Right, right. Alrighty, so okay, I see you're pretty headstrong on the long term or on a pretty mid-range term, which is fair.
Yes.
What I will say is, what will you offer our company to sweeten the deal for us to make it a bit more worthwhile for us to do this partnership? Cause I don't want to, push any buttons. I don't, yes, I just want to state the facts to you all. The facts of the matter is you guys aren't the only company that we can speak with, but you guys are the most. You guys are, as far as proximity to the port, you guys are the closest. And
Yes.
of course, being close offers convenience and it offers less travel time, which saves a bit more money. But we're already spending a ton of money now, so it wouldn't be an issue to spend a little less money with a different company. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to kind of conform, or at least understand where we're coming from. Again, I'm not trying to push any buttons. I'm not trying to be aggressive in any way, shape, or form. If anything, I want to kind of help you guys break into this industry a lot more. I see the potential you guys have. I know your mindset. I've done a ton of research on you, and I know you're very business oriented. You have an extensive background in real estate. You've made you know, some very how do you say it? Made some very rewarding decisions for Cash Creek, and I've noticed those over the years. You guys have done a lot of great things for the company. So if there's anywhere we want to be, it's with you guys. But again, we have to come to some agreements in the middle. So again, what do you guys think that you can kind of offer us that'll and entice CANAAN to move forward with your proceedings?
Uh, See, we already invested $6 million with the help of the Canadian federal government.
Right.
So, uh, so that's why we are actually asking for the long-term investment lease term, and I think 10 years is good for you and me.
So you're trying to recoup is what you're saying.
Yes. So, you are not agreeing with the 10 years lease term?
I wouldn't say I'm not in agreement with it because I understand where you're coming from with it. The only thing is, again, as I said, we're gonna take on all of the risk if we do a mid-range lease term like that. I'm looking for anywhere between 6 to 7 years, you know, 7 years at the most for now, for the first phase. And then as we move into the second phase, we can create that long-term lease. Now, I will say this.
So,
I'll propose a counter offer to what you're saying. Say we do 10 years with you all. Do you guys think you can assist us in putting down that initiation fee?
if it is up to the 7 years, maybe we are not able to recover the cost and the generate profit. Uh, what we invest on the $6 million from NEET. That's why we are asking for the 10 years. I already told you can review our every condition and term after the 5 years in the lease. So I think,
And even if we do 10 years, we can still review our terms and
okay,
agreements after
after
5.
5 years, yes.
And what would that offer us? Does that mean that, if we don't come to an agreement, we'll be able to break the lease and agreements?
No, lease should be the 10 years is constant, but we can change other terms and condition after 5 years.
Right. So I get what you're saying. And I understand that you guys are trying to recoup.
Mhm.
Absolutely understood. Uh, this is the thing. It has to make sense for both sides
Yes.
for us to move forward in the proceedings. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, we're offering, you know, uh, basically we're offering to basically generate money out of thin air for you all, in the hopes that we can use your facilities, you
Yes.
know, mitigate a lot of our costs. A lot of the costs that are going to be mitigated, they'll be offset into your guys' pockets. But how we want to do that is we want to start on a smaller scale with a smaller phase, and then kind of work our way up to a larger phase. The best way I can say we'll be able to come to an agreement is if you guys help us mitigate a lot of our risk by helping us with some upfront costs. roughly we're looking at an initiation fee of roughly $200,000. Now, if you guys can, in some way, shape, or form, assist us on maybe 25% or 50% of that, that'll be greatly appreciated. And that'll help kickstart those royalty incentives a lot faster.
Mm. You're telling about the royalty fee?
I'm sorry?
Can you come again?
No, so I'm saying there's an initiation fee of
Yes.
$200,000 that we have to basically put up front to get everything started. This includes administrative fees monthly and things
Yes.
like that. So we're gonna have to put that money forward just to get everything started. What I'm proposing is if you guys want to do a 10-year term of a lease term, then you guys can help us with that initiation fee. You guys can assist us maybe giving 25%, which will be $50,000, or or you can give us 50%, which will be $100,000, and we'll go half and half on that initiation fee. From there, you guys will be able to get you guys will start receiving royalties a lot quicker than after 10 years or so like that. And to sweeten the deal, we to sweeten the deal again, we are one of the largest, forward shipping companies in our side of town in Canada, what we do. So that means we receive a lot of shipments. So what we're proposing to do is give you guys $25 a royalty off of every shipment that we receive, whether it's import or export.
Relative 25. Okay, this is good for me.
So you
But
guys are agreeing to help us with that initiation fee?
25%?
You're thinking 35%?
25.
I'm sorry?
25% from us, initiation fee.
And that would be roughly, I believe, $75,000. Yeah, somewhere around there, or $70,000.
Okay. If you then royalty fee will get the 25% for this.
Royalty, not 25%, $25 per container.
$25.
No, $25 per container. So if we have 1,000 containers coming in every hour, or say if we have 100 containers coming in every hour, you
If
times
it
that
is
by
not a high
25.
volume container we are expecting, then it will be a loss for me if you are offering $25.
No, no, it wouldn't be a loss in no way, shape, or form because you guys wouldn't take any risk. It wouldn't be any major risk to you guys.
Okay, it's okay.
All right,
Deal
so
with it.
are you stating to agree with that?
Yes, okay.
All right, so just to clarify, you guys are proposing, we're proposing to confirm on a 10-year lease
Mm-hmm.
where you guys are gonna offer 35% in the initiation fee, and in return,
25%, not the 35%.
you said 35%
25%.
for, I'm sorry. So
25%.
okay, so just to clarify, the 35% is for the initiation fee. That is what you
No,
guys are gonna
I'm
help
I'm
us with.
I'm telling that 25% for the initiation fee, not the 35%. 25% is
Oh,
okay.
25%. Okay, so
Yes.
50. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. All righty. So just to clarify,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do a 10-year term lease. You guys are
Yes.
gonna assist us with 25% in the initiation fee, which is roughly $50,000. So then we're
Yes.
gonna we're gonna be paying $150,000.
Right.
And as things kick in, we're gonna those royalty incentives are gonna kick in a lot faster than the 10-year lease term. So they'll kick in the middle. So roughly about 5 years in, they'll kick in where you guys are
Yes.
gonna make $25 per container, which is gonna be
Uh,
roughly a lot of money. It's gonna offset a lot of our shipping costs from trucks. It's gonna bring us down $255 from the initial $655 we were paying. So from that point, we're gonna be paying $400, and everything's gonna work out. Alrighty, so just to confirm, we've come to an agreement, and I'm gonna write that down actually.
Yes, I think it's workable for me. It's okay. And how about the rent fee per acre?
I'm sorry.
How about the rent fee per acre? You are using my storage facility.
Yeah, so with using you guys or with using your acreage and things like that, that's gonna automatically be included. So we're gonna instead of having to move our shipments via truck or whatever we get, whether it's empty or it has cargo in it, we're just gonna use the rail yard, the acreage that we're renting from you guys to store our shipments. That way we don't have to
Mhm.
pay moving fees and things like that. And thus that in turn helps us kind of get to those um royalty incentive fees a lot faster because now we're not spending money on trucks and getting them loaded and things like that. And that with trucks there's time and stuff like that, and time is money. So with no congestion, no trucks and things like that, now we're saving a lot more money. We're able to store at the facility, and we're able to offset the money we're saving good an amount, not all of it, but an amount of the money we're saving, we're able to offset it back to you guys. So it just makes sense from there, where you guys are helping us out with storage and transportation and things like that. And it's also helping the environment and saving on congestion. And we're kind of giving you guys kickback from the amount of money that we're saving.
But you are paying the $1,000 rent in the pilot project.
I'm sorry.
But you paid $1,000 per acre in the pilot project. So it should be
Yes.
around, you should, around $800 per acre rent,
You said $800 of what? I'm sorry.
rent per acre.
Rain particle?
Yes.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Rent for by using my land.
Oh, rent. Oh, okay.
Yes.
You're saying pay $800 instead of the
Yes.
$1,000? Oh, you guys
Eight
want to
hundred dollars for
lessen?
the per acre.
So you guys want to take $200 off the rent for us?
No, 800. You already giving $1,000 in the pilot project per acre.
Right. Let me just make sure.
Uh,
That $1,000 wasn't. Oh wait, it wasn't a pilot. If the project moves in addition.
yes.
Okay, so do you guys want to go up on the rent or you want to go down on the rent? I'm sorry.
I want to down the range, $800.
Oh, so you want to take $200 off the rent, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect. At a term of, so we're doing a 10-year lease, um, at a term of $800 per acre
Yes. Per month.
a month. A month. And let me do the math on that really quickly. I'm sorry, I don't know that one off the top of my head. Actually, let me do it here. Eight $800 times 5. So
I'm
that'll be
sharing.
$4,000. So yeah, it takes the whole $1,000 off. 4,000 a month. Okay, and then 25% initiation fee, 25%, 50,000 towards 200 start fee, and get $25 per container
You got it?
royalties. Yes, sir. After
You
5.
paid cash rate 1,000 per acre per month during the pilot. If the project moves ahead, in addition to 5,000 per month in rent.
That's perfectly fine. So I went ahead and wrote everything down over here on the outcome of our negotiation. And I
Yeah.
must say, Mr. Russo, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I look forward to our future endeavors and our partnership, and I want to thank you for your time and patience with me today.
One more thing. Uh,
What's up?
as this is a new project, so there is a lot of risk, right?
It's a new project, and there's a lot of what? I'm sorry.
Risk.
Risk. Yes, there is a ton of risk. There's a ton of
Yes.
risk. That's
Yes. Yes.
exactly why. So you guys aren't gonna take much of the risk. You guys are gonna incur some risk because you're helping us with the startup fee and the initiation fee, but you guys aren't gonna take as much risk as us as a company. Now, if we were to incur all of the risk entirely, we would need to create a way shorter lease term. So we would have to be at 5 years minimum or 5 years maximum or something below if we were gonna take on all the
But
risk.
we prefer
Would you
fifty
guys
fifty
start?
would be better.
So 50-50 is where you want to go?
50-50 risk will be better. Wearing.
Yeah, that works. So with 50-50 risk, that works in our favor. It helps us a lot. And then in turn, again, this shortens the delayed royalty payments a lot. So instead of it being 5 years, it's shortened to 3 years now. So now with that, are you saying you're gonna help us out with $100,000 instead of the $50,000?
Yes.
Okay, so that goes up to 50% now.
50%. Yes. The risk taking should be you took the risk 50% and 50% upon me. This is okay. As this is a new project, there is a lot of risk for it.
Absolutely. And what we're gonna do is, so I had this meeting with you. I'm gonna have a few more meetings with some of the other shipping and containment companies around the area, and we're gonna try to get them all on board as well. So
Mhm.
that's gonna we're gonna try to get them on board to kind of spread the risk but also
Mhm.
spread the reward as well. So your 50%, initiation fee, it can go all the way down to 5%, depending on how many people we get in. But it's good that
Yes.
we have a base point to start with the 50%. That way, if things don't work out in the favor of every other company, at least us two, we've come to an agreement and we know what we're gonna do. So it works out in that way. Um, Again, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay.
I feel we reached a favorable decision in our negotiation, and yeah, I think we'll be good. I think we'll have a very bountiful relationship in the coming
Sure.
years.
Yes.
So again, I want to thank you for your time, and I look forward to combining our expertise and our knowledge as we move forward in this project.
Thanks you for your time also, and we are looking
Absolutely.
forward to your experience. I think it will make it more ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. Thank you.
I think we hit our time limit. You can go ahead and